Welcome to The Deep Dive, the show that cuts through the noise to bring you the essential insights from your most important sources. Today, we're taking a deep dive into shop strategy, a topic that's just absolutely crucial for any online business, especially if you're on Shopify. And this deep dive is powered by Growth Suite. It's an app designed to help you run really smart discount campaigns on your store. You can test it for free on your Shopify store. So we're digging into the art, and I guess the science too, of customer segmentation for targeted promotional campaigns, specifically on Shopify. Our source material, it includes this really in-depth guide and a look at some, powerful tools. It lays out a pretty clear path to significantly boosting sales and conversion rates.
Yeah, it really does. Far too many merchants, they still treat all their customers the same way. It's like the sources say, throwing spaghetti at the wall. You just hope some of it sticks, but mostly, you're just making a mess. So we're going to explore why understanding who you're talking to is really the secret weapon for Shopify store owners. Moving beyond those generic blasts to highly effective, personalized marketing.
Okay, that spaghetti analogy, that really hits home. So why is this idea of segmentation so, absolutely critical right now? The e-commerce world feels pretty crowded.
It really boils down to efficiency and effectiveness. The core idea is actually quite simple. Divide your customer base into distinct groups, based on shared characteristics. This lets you craft tailored strategies. And the benefits, they aren't just theoretical, they're very measurable. For instance, our sources, they highlight that segmented email campaigns see, a remarkable 14.32% higher open rate compared to the non-segmented ones.
Wow, 14.32% higher open rates. Is that pretty consistent across different industries, or does this principle apply maybe even more dramatically in that crowded Shopify space where, every click really counts?
That's a great question. And while the principle holds true pretty much everywhere, it is particularly impactful in e-commerce. In a crowded market, standing out really means relevance. So higher open rates translate directly into smarter resource allocation. You stop, wasting marketing dollars on customers who are unlikely to convert. And it just naturally leads to increased customer lifetime value because you're actually nurturing relationships.
Yeah.
And enhanced targeting precision.
Right.
Meaning the right message gets to the right person.
Exactly, at the right moment.
At exactly the right moment, yeah.
We have this fantastic example from the sources that illustrates this perfectly. It's a client with an artisanal coffee subscription business. They simply separated their customer base into occasional buyers and regular subscribers. That's it. And then by tailoring messages specifically to each group, like maybe offering occasional buyers a little discount to encourage that second purchase, or giving regular subscribers early access to new blends, they saw their email conversion rates jump by 23% in just 3 weeks. Small changes, but really big, measurable results.
Exactly. And think about it yourself. Which email are you more likely to open? Is it the generic 25% off everything blast that feels totally impersonal? Or the one that says, hey, we noticed you love our organic teas. Here's a special offer on our new herbal collection just for you.
Yeah, no contest.
The difference in engagement is just clear. So this targeted approach, it dramatically improves conversion rates. It lowers customer acquisition costs, increases average order values, and really strengthens retention. It's about building loyalty, not just, making one sale.
Okay, so with all these clear benefits laid out, what are the different ways we can actually slice and dice our customer base? How do we achieve this kind of precision?
Well, our sources highlight 4 primary models, and they're often most powerful when you start combining them. So first up, we have demographic segmentation. This is the most traditional way, really. Think of it as sorting your customers by their basic biographical data. Are they Gen Z or millennials? What's their typical household income, their education level, family status? These are all measurable, objective traits that can tell you quite a lot about their potential needs and preferences. Shopify lets you collect some of this data, and you can use customer tags to flag key demographic info, which makes filtering much easier down the line. Actually, tools like Growth Suite, which our sources mentioned, can help automate some of this tagging process, which, reduces a lot of that manual work.
Right, makes sense.
Second is geographic segmentation. Location, it matters more than many merchants might realize. This involves dividing customers by regional preferences. You wouldn't push heavy winter coats in a tropical climate.
Probably not.
Or you could think about local events, specific shipping options based on area. Shopify automatically collects this location data during checkout, so it makes this relatively straightforward to leverage for, relevant local campaigns. Okay, our third pillar is behavioral segmentation. Now, this one tells you how customers interact with your store. It focuses on their actions rather than just sort of who they are. So this includes things like their purchase history, what they buy, how often they buy it, what price points they go for, also their browsing patterns, maybe which products they look at but don't end up purchasing.
Ah, yeah.
Cart abandonment behavior, that's a big one. And how they responded to past promotions. Did they use that coupon or not?
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Imagine a customer who, like, consistently browses your premium product category, the expensive stuff, but only ever pulls the trigger during the big sales events.
Mm-hmm.
That's a clear signal, right?
Mm.
You could potentially create a segment just for them and offer, say, a limited time discount specifically on those high-end items because you know their intent.
Absolutely. That's a perfect example. This model often yields the most actionable insights for your promotional campaigns. And advanced data analysis engines, like those mentioned in our sources for tools like Growth Suite, they're particularly effective at tracking these behavioral patterns. They give you much deeper insights into browsing and purchasing habits. It can really pinpoint those subtle buying signals.
Okay.
And finally, number 4 is psychographic segmentation. This is the deepest dive, really. It delves into the why behind the purchase. It's about their values. Do they prioritize sustainability, for instance? What's their lifestyle like? Are they outdoor adventurers or more homebodies? What kind of content do they tend to gravitate towards? Now, this one is harder to measure directly compared to demographics. It's often inferred from things like survey responses, maybe their social media engagement, or even their product choices. For example, customers who consistently buy your eco-friendly products, they likely value sustainability.
That makes total sense. So effective segmentation obviously relies on good data. Where does a Shopify merchant even begin collecting all this information to fuel these different segmentation models, especially maybe the more nuanced psychographic stuff?
Well, the good news is Shopify provides several native data sources that give you a really solid foundation to start with. These include, customer accounts and profiles with basic info, their detailed order history. There's valuable store analytics covering traffic and conversion paths, and also customer feedback from reviews and support interactions. For the more nuanced psychographic data you mentioned, you might use things like post-purchase surveys or maybe analyze comments on your social media posts. For more advanced segmentation, though, third-party integrations often become key. We're talking things like CRM systems, maybe HubSpot, email marketing platforms like Klaviyo or MailChimp, social media insights tools, customer support platforms like Gorgies. These integrations, they enrich your customer profiles with additional data points, which allows for really highly granular segments. For instance, you could combine Shopify purchase history with, say, Klaviyo email engagement data. That might reveal customers who consistently open your emails but rarely actually buy anything.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, that's a prime target for a special incentive campaign, right? And tools like Growth Suite, they're designed to integrate seamlessly with many of these platforms. That lets you centralize your customer data and create more comprehensive segments much more easily. Of course, I have to add, while collecting all this data, always prioritize privacy and compliance. Think regulations like GDPR, CCPA. Make sure you have transparent policies and clear consent management.
Absolutely crucial. So once we have all this rich data flowing in, how do we actually build these segments within Shopify itself to start making a real impact?
Well, you can actually start quite simply using Shopify's built-in customer segmentation tools. If you go into your admin dashboard, into the customer section, you can use filtering options to create groups based on, say, location, order count, or the total amount spent. Then you can save these segments for future use, and you can easily export those filtered lists for your marketing campaigns. It's a good starting point.
Okay.
Customer tagging is also really flexible within Shopify. You just need to create clear tag categories, maybe based on purchase behavior or customer value, like VIP. It helps to establish naming conventions for consistency and try to implement automated tagging where possible. Our sources had that great example. A skincare brand used tags for different skin types. They saw a remarkable 34% conversion rate improvement in their targeted email campaigns just from that.
Wow, 34%.
Yeah. It just shows how powerful even relatively simple tagging can be. And a common pitfall to avoid here is probably over-segmentation. Lots of merchants think more segments must be better, right?
Right, seems logical.
But our sources actually showed that too many segments can dilute your efforts. The real insight isn't how many segments you have, but how meaningful each segment actually is.
That's a fantastic insight. Okay, so for merchants who feel ready to go a bit deeper, what about some more advanced techniques for building those really meaningful segments?
Okay, yeah. Once you're comfortable with the basics and ready to go deeper, you can delve into something called RFM analysis. It stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. It's kind of like giving each customer a dynamic report card. It's a really powerful method. It scores customers on how recently they bought from you, how often they typically buy, and how much they tend to spend. So this helps create segments like your champions. Those are your recent frequent buyers spending a lot, or maybe at-risk customers, those who used to be regular but haven't purchased recently. And what's truly fascinating about RFM, I think, isn't just identifying your champions, but how it often uncovers these sleeping giants.
Sleeping giant.
Yeah,
Okay.
customers who used to be high value but are now slipping into that at-risk category. It offers this unique opportunity for really high-impact re-engagement that, a generic campaign would just totally miss. And platforms with advanced analytics capabilities, like Growth Suite again, can make implementing RFM analysis much more accessible. They can automatically categorize customers and help identify these kinds of opportunities.
Mm.
Another advanced technique is life cycle stage segmentation. The idea here is that different messages work best at different stages of the customer journey. So you'd segment based on whether someone is a first-time visitor, a brand new customer, an active regular customer, maybe at risk, lapsed, or even one of your loyal advocates. Each stage really demands different promotional strategies.
Makes sense.
Then there's purchase pattern analysis. This means looking even deeper into how customers buy. Are they routine purchasers versus impulse buyers? Are they seasonal shoppers? Do they have very specific category preferences? What are their average order value patterns? This directly informs what type of promotion you should probably offer them.
Right.
And finally, the most powerful segments, they often come from combining multiple criteria. For example, you might create a segment for, let's say, high-value customers who are interested in sustainable products and who haven't purchased in over 60 days.
Okay, very specific.
Exactly. While these multidimensional segments naturally reach smaller audiences, their precision often drives significantly higher conversion rates. And again, tools like Growth Suite can help identify these kinds of multidimensional segments through their advanced analytics, helping you find those maybe non-obvious correlations in your customer data.
Okay, so we've built these super smart segments. Now, how do we actually turn them into revenue-generating campaigns? What's the strategic approach here?
Right, strategy. Well, you need to start by setting clear objectives for each specific segment. What are you trying to achieve with this group? Is it acquisition, retention, cross-selling, maybe upselling, reactivation of lapsed customers, or enhancing loyalty among your best ones? For example, a footwear store might want to cross-sell socks to customers who just recently bought boots. Or they might develop a campaign specifically to reactivate customers who haven't bought anything in, say, 6 months. Then you select the right promotional type for that objective and segment. This could be, percentage or fixed amount discounts, free shipping thresholds, maybe a gift with purchase, BOGO offers, loyalty points multipliers, or even early access to new products. Crucially, you have to match the promotion to the segment. For your high-value customers, maybe exclusive access to new collections is actually more effective than just another discount.
Yeah, that's a really powerful point about not just throwing discounts at everyone. It's more about strategic value, not just a race to the bottom on price.
Indeed. And platforms that have campaign optimization features like those found in Growth Suite, they can help optimize this whole process. They do that by tracking how different segments respond to various promotion types, giving you data-backed insights for your future campaigns, and importantly, helping you avoid unnecessary margin erosion from over-discounting.
Good point.
Timing and frequency are also really critical. You want to try and align your campaigns with seasonal cycles or typical purchase cycles for your products. A beauty retailer, for instance, might time promotions to coincide with their customers' typical reordering cycle for skincare products, which might be, about 60 to 90 days after their last purchase.
Right.
And automated campaign engines, like the one in Growth Suite, can actually help automate this timing based on analyzing those customer behavior patterns, ensuring your offers feel relevant when they land.
Okay, so beyond the offer itself, the discount or the free shipping,
Yeah.
how do we make the actual content, the email or the ad, really resonate with each segment? How do we avoid sounding generic even when the offer is targeted?
Yeah, great question. Personalization is absolutely key here. You need to tailor your content. That means things like The product recommendations you show, the messaging tone you use, maybe even creating custom landing pages for specific segments. And tailor your visuals too. Use imagery or color schemes that you know align with that segment's preferences or past behavior. A sporting goods retailer, for example, could feature different hero products for runners versus cyclists, even if they're promoting similar items like apparel.
Oh.
Or a children's toy company could use different email templates, maybe emphasizing academic benefits for some parents and creativity for others, even for the exact same product. And data analysis tools like those integrated into Growth Suite can help identify which specific products and which messaging angles will likely resonate most with different segments based on their past engagement and stated interests.
And then how do we actually bring these targeted campaigns to life on the Shopify platform itself? What are the tools that...
Well, Shopify's own native email marketing tool is a great starting point. It allows for segment-specific email creation and scheduling. For merchants on Shopify Plus, that's the enterprise platform for larger businesses, Shopify Flow enables some really sophisticated automated workflows. Things like automatically tagging VIP customers or triggering loyalty emails when certain criteria are met.
Right, but not everyone is on Plus.
Exactly. So for stores without access to Shopify Flow, some third-party apps, and this includes Growth Suite, they offer similar automation capabilities. They can help you create quite sophisticated trigger-based campaigns without needing that top-tier Plus plan. And beyond the native tools, you've got a whole ecosystem of third-party apps. Think Klaviyo for really advanced email marketing, maybe Gorgeous for CRM, or SMS Bump for SMS marketing. They integrate deeply with Shopify for even more advanced segmentation and managing multi-channel campaigns.
I see.
And again, many of these platforms, including Growth Suite, are designed to integrate seamlessly, allowing you to leverage powerful analytics alongside whichever marketing tools you prefer to use.
Okay. It really feels like the true power, though, comes from the measurement and that continuous refinement cycle. What specific metrics should merchants be focusing on to know if their segmented campaigns are truly working?
Absolutely. Measurement is everything. You need to look at segment-specific metrics. Things like conversion rates by segment. How does segment A convert compared to segment B? Look at average order value comparisons between segments, customer lifetime value variations, and engagement metrics like open rates and click-through rates for each group. Comparing performance across segments often reveals really surprising insights. You might find, for example, that your discount seeker segment converts more often, but they have a significantly lower average order value.
Right.
That might prompt you to shift resource allocation, maybe focus more on nurturing higher AOV segments. And analytics dashboards, like the one found in Growth Suite, can provide clear visualization of these segment-specific metrics, making it much easier to spot those patterns and opportunities just by looking at the data. For evaluating specific campaigns, you should definitely track things like promotion redemption rates, your return on investment, ROI, and attribution, which campaigns are driving which sales. There's a great example in the sources. A luxury skincare brand discovered their VIP segment actually converted at a lower rate when they were offered discounts compared to when they got early product access.
Interesting.
Yeah. They realized that discounting was actually undermining the premium positioning that attracted those VIP customers in the first place.
Wow. Okay, so this really isn't a set-it-and-forget-it strategy at all, is it?
Yeah.
It sounds more like a constant evolution, almost like a living organism within your business.
Never. Absolutely not. Continuous improvement is vital. You should always be A/B testing things. Test your offers, test your messages, test timing, even test different channels for different segments. Campaign engines, like those in Growth Suite, allow for pretty efficient A/B testing, helping you quickly identify the most effective approaches for each segment without needing, extensive manual tracking and spreadsheets. And you need to regularly review and refine your segments based on the new data coming in. You might decide to split a high-performing segment for even more precise targeting, or maybe consolidate some underperforming ones that aren't distinct enough. Our sources mentioned that outdoor equipment retailer, again, they initially segmented by product category interest, but then discovered purchase frequency was actually a much more predictive factor for future purchases. So they did a complete restructuring of their segmentation model based on that insight and saw significantly improved results. It shows you have to be willing to adapt.
Definitely. So, looking ahead, what's next for segmentation? Where's this all heading in the future?
Well, the future really seems to lie in predictive segmentation. This uses advanced analytics, often AI, to actually forecast things like purchase propensity, churn risk, and future lifetime value. It's about shifting to proactive marketing, identifying those at-risk customers before they actually disengage, rather than just reacting after they're gone.
Okay, proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. And even more exciting, perhaps, are the AI-powered segmentation tools. These use machine learning to discover complex patterns in your data that a human might easily miss. And they can dynamically adjust segments as customer behavior evolves in real time. Actually, Growth Suite's AI-driven engine already incorporates some of these predictive elements. It continually analyzes customer behavior to identify patterns and can recommend ideal campaign approaches specifically for your store.
Very interesting.
And finally, I think omni-channel segmentation is becoming absolutely crucial. This means creating unified customer profiles that track interactions across all touchpoints of your website, maybe physical stores if you have them, social media, customer service, and then coordinating multi-channel campaigns based on that unified view. This ensures you have consistent, complementary messaging no matter where your customers happen to interact with your brand. Some tools, like Growth Suite, offer these sort of centralized hubs or notification centers for coordinated campaigns, making sure customers can easily access all the promotional information, regardless of which channel initially caught their eye.
Wow. This deep dive has really shown us that customer segmentation isn't just, another marketing tactic. It feels like a fundamental shift in how Shopify merchants can genuinely connect with their customers. It's really about understanding, valuing, and serving each unique group, which leads to stronger relationships and ultimately, well, hopefully exponential growth.
Absolutely. And remember, segmentation is definitely an ongoing journey. For Shopify store owners who are maybe new to this, the key is to start simple. Just audit the customer data you already have, define maybe just a few initial key segments, set up some basic tracking, and launch a couple of pilot campaigns. Even those first steps can truly transform your promotional strategy from those generic spaghetti-on-the-wall broadcasts into really targeted, revenue-generating conversations.
And as we heard throughout our deep dive today, tools like Growth Suite can really accelerate this process. They can automatically analyze your customer data and even suggest initial segments based on clear behavioral patterns, which makes advanced segmentation much more accessible even for smaller Shopify stores. This deep dive into Shop's strategy was powered by Growth Suite. Just a reminder, it helps Shopify merchants increase conversion rates in sales by tracking visitor behavior, predicting purchase intent, and strategically presenting personalized, time-limited discount offers, especially to those visitors who seem less likely to convert immediately on their own. It requires no technical expertise, sets up in under 60 seconds, which is pretty amazing. And Growth Suite also includes some really unique features like dynamic single-use discount code management. It automatically deletes codes after they expire. This ensures your offers are truly time-bound and helps maintain your brand integrity. No more expired codes floating around. Plus, its high-fidelity countdown timer stays consistent across page refreshes, different browser tabs, and navigation, providing a really reliable sense of urgency for the customer. You can try it free on your Shopify store. That's all for this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep optimizing your shop strategy.